on this computer. Hi, I am joined today by Dr. Abby Bleistein and Erica Haig. They are both with Healthful Life MD, and we are talking about how their approach is so different from other weight loss programs. And the first question that I have is for Dr. Abby. And I know that you had left your own practice where you didn't have a lot of time to meet with patients. And that's kind of the structure of the relationship. And so you developed Healthful Life with a team approach in mind. Can you tell me a bit more about why you think a team approach is the best approach?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and when I was working in primary care and seeing patients, I oftentimes would ask them about their weight. Are you concerned about your weight? Do you want some help with weight loss? And oftentimes people said yes. And so I was happy to help them. But, I'm a physician. And so I do know, quite a bit about nutrition, quite a bit about fitness and behavior and stuff. But I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in each of those fields, right? I'm an expert in medicine, and that's what I know and do. And so when I got to a point working with patients where I felt like, I really would like for you to see a dietitian, or I really would like a trainer to kind of help you so we can optimize what's going on, so we can tweak things a little bit and get to some of those finer details. And it was really hard to have that collaboration going when I was sort of on my own in that setting. And so when I designed Healthful Life MD, I really thought about, what's going to be the best way to help people with sustainable lifestyle change. And weight is so much more than just, eat the right things, right? Go exercise. But there's a lot that goes into it in terms of, support and connection, from people with expertise. And so there's behavioral things that we think about. There's specific nutritional needs that people have. There's, people are all at a different level in terms of fitness and in terms of the kinds of activities they enjoy. So for me, developing the program, I really wanted a comprehensive approach, but to bring in those specialists and the expertise to really help people become successful.
That makes sense. And speaking of experts, Erica Haig is a master nutritional therapist. And I wanted to ask her, if I'm a patient and I come to meet with you, or being that we're in COVID right now, if we're meeting virtually, what are some common concerns that I might have as a new patient about changing the way that I eat?
I would say that, most often I hear from people, their biggest concern is really, do I have the willpower to go through with this? Am I capable of doing this, of following this program? I've tried so many different diets and I've failed, and why is this going to be any different for me? So I really try to, instead of, just cheering them on, like a cheerleader, I really try to find out, what their why is. Why are you here? What is going to be your motivation? And, sometimes that can take a little bit for me to really find how I'm going to help that person the most, and sometimes it could just be, actual physical reactions, like they're not eating the right foods at the right time of day to help with their blood sugar balance. And then it's creating cravings later in the day, and that's where they're falling down. So sometimes, nutritionally, we can absolutely work through that and find the ways to balance their blood sugar and reduce those cravings, make them feel better, have more energy, get through the day without, needing to eat constantly, or, needing the sugar that they feel like they need. So, we can work through those kinds of things. Sometimes it's emotional, and we have to figure out why it is that they're in their position that they're in right now. And really, kind of dig into that a little bit. And obviously, that's where, the therapists can come into play, and they can talk more about emotional stuff. But I feel like I need to dig into that as well, because I need to know how I can help them, nutritionally in that. Because a lot of times people feel, emotional and stuff because maybe their neurotransmitters are out of balance. And, we need to do things nutritionally to kind of help rebalance those systems, so that they're not craving foods. It may not have anything to do with blood sugar, but it may have, something to do with other hormones or neurotransmitters. So these are all things that we have to, work through together. and really help them get that, what they perceive as just being willpower. So often it's something else happening in the body that they don't think they have any control over. But once we get the right foods into them, it totally changes how they feel, and their energy and their cravings go away, and they sleep better at night, and all the pieces kind of fall into place, and it really works.
It's amazing how a lot of the thoughts around willpower and, no pain, no gain, and if I don't feel like I'm missing out, then I'm not doing it right, that those have just stuck with us for so long. And it doesn't have to be that way. And I wanted to just ask both of you about, being that you're on a team, and this team includes Dr. Abby Bleistein as the physician that oversees the program. And Erica, as stated before, you are our nutritional therapist, and we have a dietitian, a personal trainer, a chef, and a psychologist. How do you all communicate as a team? And Dr. Abby, do you want to go first?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's a very collaborative effort. And what I love about working with a team is, that I learn a lot from all the different people on the team, but we really collaborate with each other to optimize patient care. So I see every patient for a complete medical history and physical, and get a lot of details, about the medical history, but also about symptoms, what kinds of things are going on with them, how are they feeling, maybe they're not feeling well, maybe they have tummy troubles or headaches or other kinds of things, maybe they have diabetes or high blood pressure, what medications are they on, so I can kind of look at all of those things, and then put together the program for the patient. And then I collaborate with the experts. So I can kind of get a feel for the patient and decide, personalities, who are they going to work best with. Erica actually is really an expert in functional nutrition in addition to her nutritional expertise. And it really, so if there are patients who would benefit from that kind of knowledge and communication, then I can partner them with her. And I call them directly and we discuss the patient. So I let them know what I've learned, the things that I'm worried about, the things that I want to look towards. If we're doing any kind of specialized diet with the patient, sometimes people have food sensitivities, those kinds of issues. We can talk about that. So we can really kind of hone in on what's going to work best for them. And then we can design the program together. So it's actually an interactive discussion of the patient before they even end up seeing, the dietitian or the nutritionist. And the same thing with the trainer and the health psychologist. So we can kind of talk about, and I get a feel for what kinds of issues can we really help this patient with so that they can be successful long-term, so that they can really take care of these problems and feel their best and live their best life. And so it's really direct communication. We have a medical record, a single electronic medical record that everybody shares. And so all of the different visits are in there. So I can kind of get updated on what happened with the patient in between the visits with me, in terms of what's happening with the dietitian, with the trainer. And then if there's specific issues that come up, we can also just call each other. So for example, a patient might say to me, I'm really bonking with